Today I'm going to share how I got disciplined with my art practice, and I 100% know that this is going to work for you. So first of all, you don't need more motivation. What you need is a system. You need to create a simple system that makes your life easier to show up every day and to do your work. And your work is to do your art. So first of all, I got this idea from The War of Art, a book that I absolutely love by Steven Pressfield. And in this book, he talks about the professional and the amateur artist. And the difference between these two is that the professional artist, he does his work every single day as a job. So the professional artist wakes up, sits their bum, and works. No matter if it's hot, no matter if it's raining or if the sun is shining. That's what the professional artist does. So Steven Pressfield, he names our common enemy as resistance. So resistance is that little voice that tells you can do that later, you can do that another day. You don't have time to do your art right now. This is the enemy. This is what's keeping you from doing your Meraki, which is your soul art, the work that you've come here in the world to express. And if you listen to resistance and let it win, then you're never going to walk your path as an artist, will you? First of all, how do we get rid of resistance? So to fight resistance, you're going to sit down and in your calendar, you're going to carve out a time during your day, every single day, where you can sit up, show up, and do your art. I started doing art school in my busiest year. It was the year that I moved from the city to the countryside. I was trying to scale my business with my partner at the time. We also decided to open a brick and mortar boutique. And in this boutique, I also gave art classes. And it was a really crazy year, but still I found time in my calendar that I could sit down, show up, do the work, do my homework, do my assignments, do all the paintings I needed to do in my portfolio. And I actually took less time completing the core subjects in comparison to other people that I know. So if you want to be disciplined, find a little moment every single day or once a week where you can sit your bum down and work on your art. So tip number 2 is do the 100-day project. I did my 100-day project, and as usual, I made it even more complex than it should be, which I decided to create a whole group of artists to do the 100-day project, where I was leading this group to do the 100-day project. And what is the 100-day project? It is you take 100 days where you do an art activity. You can do any activity, but in this case was an art activity for 15 minutes every single day. And you do this for 100 days. So because I created this online group and we were all doing it together, I felt even more the pressure to show my piece of work that I did every single day. And at the time, my theme was to do a drawing every single day. I would have simplified it even more if I were doing it nowadays. I would do 100 days of portraits, something even more simple, which in the end, you have a really cool body of work to create a series. You can create a really awesome exhibition where you invite all your friends and your family to come and people can purchase your art. Can you imagine how cool that would be? And that is just by carving 15 minutes of your day every single day for 100 days and doing something simple. And to me, this was such an important lesson of discipline, of showing up every single day for 15 minutes, carving up that time to sit down and draw. And I used to find it very relaxing. I would actually sit down while my partner was watching something on TV. I would sit down next to him, curl up, and draw. So I highly recommend the 100-day project. I believe that even if you are super busy, if you have children, work responsibilities, which I also had, you can still find 15 minutes a day to sit down and to draw or to paint or to do an art project that you wish to do. So a little suggestion, aim to one small painting every day. It can be a tiny canvas like this. Tip number 3, set yourself to win. So one of the things that you can do to set yourself up for success is to create a little area in your home. It doesn't have to be a studio. I have a studio, but when I was doing my 100-day project, it was not a studio. You can have just a tiny section of your table, of your dinner table, with your pencil case set up, with a few paints set up. Just have that little space with everything ready, inviting you in to sit down every day and do your work. So for me, nowadays, my setup looks like this drawing table that I have. I have a nice fancy drawing table that I got for my birthday. And in this drawing table, I have my charcoals, my graphites, everything that I need, all of my drawing essentials that I use to start my paintings. And I have a whole little system, a whole little recipe that I follow that has made my painting system so delicious to me and inviting that I believe that this is why I keep coming back and doing my paintings, because now I just crave sitting down in my beautiful fancy desk and doing my work. Showing up and doing the work has become the most pleasurable part of my day. So this is the thing that all of us artists, we need to do. We need to create a system that makes your daily work so pleasurable that you want to be there all the time, that you want to not only go there for 50 minutes, but that you want to spend more time doing the work that matters to you. Tip number 4, adopt essentialism. So essentialism has become the new philosophy of my life. So I used to do a million scattered things. I've always been one of these multi-passionate people who's doing lots of things at once. And nowadays, I have this new rule of only one thing at a time. I'm no longer spreading myself thin doing Instagram and TikTok and whatever platform is trending. I only focus on YouTube, and I focus on doing my art, doing my paintings. So no more other random activities like I used to do before. And the same thing is my subject matter. So even though I am painting women, it's always a different archetype, and that brings in the newness to my one thing. So I really believe that usually we overcomplicate our lives, at least I do. And I discovered how simplifying my life and the systems in my life and my art has made a world of difference to me, has made me a happier, more peaceful person. So even when I'm painting women, I'm not adding a lot of things to this painting. I might have a symbol that I repeat again and again, which is the moon, which is the divine feminine. And then I simplify my art by letting the paints that I create with my own hands, because I create all of my paints from rocks, from flowers in my garden, from different elements that I find in nature. And I let that do the magic. So it's very simple now. My art process is so simple. It's so much fun. It used to be a very complex process, but now it's a very simple process. And I love all of the space in my paintings. As you can see, there's a lot of space. And I enjoy looking at it because it brings me peace. My definition of success is a peaceful life. So lastly, I just want to share a few mindset shifts that are needed to be able to have that discipline to do your art every single day. So first of all, instead of telling yourself, I want to be an artist, just tell yourself, I am an artist, I make art every day. Because one thing is to say, I want to become an artist one day, and one thing is to embody it, and I make art every day, therefore I'm an artist. So anchor your identity. I had to do this because for a long time when I first started making art, I had this imposter syndrome and I didn't call myself an artist because I wasn't making art all the time. I was making random pieces here and there. But as soon as I started making art every day, then that became my identity. I was anchoring that identity within myself. And the same thing happened when I started training, going to the gym. Instead of dreaming of becoming fit, I became fit because every day I was showing up, I was going to the gym, and eventually showing up every day and going to the gym, you become fit. So it's the same thing with art. So another thing you can do is to track it visually. So when I was doing my 100-day project, I had it in my calendar, and every single day that I was showing up for my 100-day project, I would put a little X on my calendar, and that way I was tracking it visually. Another tip is to find an accountability partner. So as I mentioned, I created this group where I had to be the example of this 100-day project group. And because I did this, I could not be the first one to not show up and do my work. So find somebody who has the same goal as you, somebody who wants to, as badly as you, become an artist, and do the 100-day project together. This is actually a fun way to do your 100-day project, is to do it with one person or a group of people. So have an accountability partner that will help you loads. Also, don't forget to celebrate your wins. So you finished your daily project, celebrate it, even if it's just with the little ritual that you create for yourself of sitting down with your cup of tea and lighting up your favorite incense, or going to the shop and buying your favorite dark chocolate with sea salt as a little treat to celebrate. Create a little celebration ritual to celebrate yourself, to celebrate your win. And when you finish your 100-day project, throw a party. Have people over, show people your 100-day project exhibition, and open a bottle of champagne. Celebrate it. And lastly, remember your why. You're not doing this for anyone but yourself. So you're doing this for yourself because this is your destiny. This is what you came here to do. This is what lights you up. This is what brings you happiness. You are doing it to prove to your children and to the generation to come that it's important to make art, that we cannot forget art and become a rigid, dreamless society. Have a strong why, and don't forget that every artist that wins, the world wins with that artist. So discipline is the bridge between your ideas and your art, between your dreams and your reality. Discipline is the most important thing that differentiates an amateur and a professional artist in every walk of life. So create your sacred setup, your sacred space to do your art. Start the 100-day project and read The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, because this book is mind-blowing. It's going to change your life. And I believe it should be a part of the educational school curriculum. That's how epic this book is. So if you enjoyed this video, please share with your friends, hit subscribe. I just started this YouTube channel to be able to document my artist journey and to be able to share my wins and the things that I'm learning along my path, along my way. And I would love to hear from you if you've enjoyed these tips, or if you have your own tips that you can share here in the comments with us, with myself and other artists. Thank you very much.